Once again, we are back. I am the portal crawler pixel doctor.
I am Shinobi Fexicmon.
And I am his partner in crime, Deadlock.
I thought he was gonna come out with something like Samurai-mon or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
No, we already have Gaio. No, that's the thing. I'm with Gaiomon, so kind of already.
I gotta say, up close, these models don't look the best.
I mean, they were also made for the PSP initially.
Alright, you know what? Fair enough then. I didn't know that.
That's what these were originally games were originally for before they got like remastered.
Because they look fine at a distance, but the closer you zoom in, the worse they look.
They're like Monet paintings. The closer you look, the less you see.
I'm sorry, PlayStation Vita, that's what it was.
Oh,
basically PSP.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And the Vita failed hard, if I recall.
Lack of support, I think, was the biggest
Yeah,
issue.
like it had a couple of hits, but by and large, it was kind of one of those things that was just kind of there. Because AJ enjoyed it because they specialized in like text-based visual novel games, and she's all for those.
I really do just want to do the side quests of fighting all the Royal Knights and everything right now.
This is also kind of cute.
It is. I mean, we're getting to the backstory of all of them. Which, oh my god, it's not like I totally didn't call that we were the 5 kids. I think that was when Chris was away, I said it.
Possibly.
It was one of my theories, and it looks like that one was proven true.
But you were also on the fence on it. You weren't so certain about it.
I was like certain about Arata. I wasn't sure about the rest, is what it was. Because, I mean, at that point, we hadn't seen the models for the kids. So it's not like I had the hair or anything to go off of.
I mean, some of them did.
Because we didn't see them yet at that point. We didn't see these little, like, ghost, like, blank models.
Here we have.
No, we didn't.
Here we have.
There were brief instances whenever Yugo's data apparition appeared where you would see the faceless kids in very, very brief flashbacks, but they didn't actually talk until now.
Yeah, you weren't sure what they were about.
Either way, I called it pretty easily. So that theory, at least, I got. I still don't know exactly what our big bad is going to be. I imagine it's going to be some, like, massive eater or something. But I have no clue.
It's a good guess.
Or it's like, we're going to fight Arata, beat Arata, then whatever is in him is going to separate from him, and we beat that. Something akin to that. Oh, this is how Yugo got struck with the Eden thing.
Eden syndrome.
I couldn't think of the word. I wanted to say disease, I'm like, that's not right. I wanted to say virus, that wasn't right.
お兄ちゃん、やめて。お兄ちゃん。ユーゴ、早くこっちへ来い。大丈夫。僕なら大丈夫だ。今のうちに逃げ。
He's dead. I'm assuming this is Arata's initial inspiration for power.
This is the memory that Suedo showed him that pushed him over the edge. Where he basically had to make the call to sacrifice one of his friends to save all the others.
これが私たちの忘れていた過去。本当にあったこと。あいつもこのことを思い出しているんだとしたら、腹った。
ここは電脳空間だ。だからユーゴは、リアルのユーゴはきっと無事だ。俺はみんなを守ったんだ。こうするしかなかったんだ。こうするしか。
兄さんは私たちをかばって、それなのに私は忘れていた。何もかも。ひょっとしてあのイーターは私たちの世界からやってきた？私たちのせいでデジタルワールドにイーターが。
その通りだ。自らの犯した大罪、思い出したか。記憶の封印をわざわざ解いてやったのだ。思い出してもらわなければ甲斐がない。貴様らは不用意にデジタルワールドを訪れ、愚かにもイーターを呼び込む。
That's some bullshit.
天津さえ
We ain't do nothing.
ゴミを残したまま扉を閉じてしまった。
We still don't even know how we got the eaters here in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There's something. I mean, there's gotta be something more to us coming there has brought them there. There's gotta be some other like third party here.
ヒート、怯えろ、絶望しろ、罪をあがない。この
感じ、お姉さんゾクゾクしちゃうわ。
Oh, that's.
She got a bit of a split personality. Yeah, I said she got a bit of a split personality here.
She did say she was kind of infected by Ri.
Yeah, Kishibe. I mean, you spend so long being a person.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, like actual animation here. Well, limited animation, but still. Oh, she's going back to the future.
Or the past.
What?
Wait, you didn't think Ray was the only one, did you?
I theorized that Kyoko was a Digimon. This is not in the slightest what I expected her to be. Again, this still goes within my predictions, and I said I didn't want her to be a Digimon. But now I'm like... did not expect... Yeah. This threw me off. I'm not gonna lie. Kyoko knew way too much about the digital world to just be like an average, detective.
Yeah, she was either someone who had been there before, or more likely, a Digimon.
Well, again, my prediction came true, but this is not the Digimon, even close to the Digimon I would have thought. Not like I had really any guess, but still. So if we didn't find out Ray, whatever her code name, Rie, if we didn't find out she was Crusadermon, I probably would have thought Kyoko was Crusadermon, and then Rie was Lilithmon. That's what I would have thought. Well, I did think that. I thought Rie was Lilithmon for a bit.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, but that would have came down to stereotypical, evil, whereas, like, this is amongst something, like, a good person thinking they're doing the right thing, like, and technically, for their world, they are. Except for, murdering kids that they don't even know if actually they're the reason if they brought the eaters.
I think, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Deadlock, but I think that part was actually proven. Like, eaters were introduced to the digital world when humans arrived there.
Correct.
Okay, so they did do that just by going there.
Yeah, that part is actually...
Intentionally, but they did.
Yeah, like, because humans didn't know that eaters were a thing. But
yeah, I don't
when
even
they
think
crossed...
the Digimon knew it until that happened either.
Right, yeah, it was an unknown threat to both parties, but since eaters were a digital entity, they only terrorized the digital world after humans showed up there, so... Like, Crusadermon's anger is understood, but her judgment a little misplaced.
See, I guess that's fine, because it's like an unknown consequence of your actions. But I thought there was going to be like a third-party thing with the eaters.
No, the eaters kind of are the third party. They're I'm not even sure how you'd accurately classify them. They're more like a force of nature than anything else.
Delak will understand this comparison, and you might, but in Halo there's the Flood. I feel like it's kind of equivalent to that.
It's definitely close to that, but not quite also.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
I get what you're saying.
Honestly, they put me more in mind of the Aperoids from Star Fox Assault.
I can't. I know. I've been a little bit since I last played it, so I don't fully remember how that works.
Yeah, basically all they do, or like all they exist to do, is eat and evolve. Like the Aporoids are the same way.
I had another comparison in mind. I lost it.
Hey, when that happens.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think they're still pretty similar to Halo, the Flood in Halo. Just for the fact
I gotta
that
go back and I gotta go back and experience Halo because really Reach is the extent of my experience with the franchise.
And there's no flood in there.
yeah, they don't exist at that point because in the first game is when they get unleashed. Because they're
horrible.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing. An unknown consequence of, well, there in that case, an unknown consequence of war.
Well, unknown for the time period you play in, very well known when they were first created. Which cannot be the same thing for the Eaters.
So the Flood exists to eat, grow, and sustain themselves. And just keep on spreading.
Yeah, that's kind of what the Eaters have. Like, the Eaters want to continuously propel themselves to the next phase of their evolution.
Except they don't really have an intellect to them, unlike what the Flood eventually gets.
Correct. Just a little splash. This is the most menacing hand arena ever. See how much St. Knuckle does compared to... Okay, it does do less.
But to be fair, you are ignoring her defense with it. Mm-hmm.
Well, I just wanted to compare.
Quite a lot of criticals there.
I think there was only one critical.
I think there was like 3.
All of the criticals.
I feel like how do you not know that?
What was that?
How does Crusader Knight not know the other Royal Knights? Is there just some that
Alphamon's more kind of like a hidden one.
Right, so the thing with Alphamon is it's the vacant seat of the do you know anything about the old King Arthur stories?
Some information, yeah, actually.
So every knight had his place at the round table, but there was one seat that King Arthur intentionally left vacant, and that was the seat that was to be given to any one of his knights who went above and beyond all the others and achieved something truly great. Alphamon represents that vacant seat, so none of the other knights regularly have dealings with it.
Oh, okay. So Alphamon is there, they just don't know about it.
Right. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the lore was when the knights were founded, their founder left that seat blank, like basically assigned that seat to Alphamon, and then basically told Alphamon, like, hey, like, watch the group from the outside and check them when they step out of line.
Makes sense. Alphamon's the referee.
Pretty much, yeah.
Making sure just none of the others get out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all 13 knights we've met so far?
You've met all but one.
And that's Imperial Mon, if I remember correctly. Imperial Dramon.
Yeah, the founder.
I know I asked, but I'm pretty sure you answered. But we do get to meet King Drasil, right?
Yes.
Or at least see him, right?
All 14 actually.
Wait, there's 14?
14. That's Imperial Dramon is the 14.
Yeah, get to Ravon.
Chain Max is awesome.
Somehow between now and then, Fist of Athena. Ow. That one
I
actually.
believe that is a defense ignored move also.
An intruder has appeared.
Sorry, I just got back.
You're fine. MJ's here.
I'm here. You know, I've been running out since like 10 a.m. with Dad to get the truck already.
Fun.
Let's see.
Yeah, I told Zach earlier. I am in fact not forging today because my propane tank ran empty last night.
Rip.
At least propane tanks are easy enough to get a replacement.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not hard.
Here's the thing, Chris. Don't replace the tank.
Well, I traded in. Well, the way that works is you basically trade the empty tank for a full one.
No. You're not trading for a full one. You're only trading for one with 15 liters out of the like 20 or 25 in hold.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to fill them beyond capacity.
No, it's not beyond capacity. They are selling you one that is below capacity.
Okay, well, do you know a place where I can go and get it filled to capacity?
I can try to find a place for you.
Because otherwise, it sounds nice what you're saying, but without a means to actually do it.
It also doesn't sound true.
Filling it
So
to capacity also sounds dangerous.
I mean, it's about as dangerous as having a container of highly flammable gas in general.
So
I was gonna say, like, having a propane tank, like having my propane tank sitting directly under a 2,000 degree forge, probably no less dangerous than that.
Mm.
Yeah, Chris, if you can just like DM me like what area you're in, I can try to look up a place for you.
Yeah.
the downside to not understanding another language is I'm not sure when they're done talking sometimes. So I keep accidentally skipping their vocal dialogue, which I don't intend to do intentionally. When she says merging with another human, so Rie was a person, am I understanding correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, what happens when a human succumbs to Eden syndrome is their mind is trapped in basically a digital limbo. What Crusadermon basically did was hijack Rie's body and became the new consciousness inside of it.
Crusadermon, you're kind of a bitch.
Well, to be fair, Alphamon did the exact same thing.
Yeah, but
Glass houses and all that.
Yeah, I can't say it's that Alphamon was like the good person when they did the exact same thing, and from Crusadermon's perspective, they were doing the right thing.
Well, Alphamon will explain what all happened. Thank you, MJ. I'll look into that.
Yep.
I don't suppose they have business hours.
Yes, I'm actually about to send those to you.
Nowadays, everyone probably has business hours posted online because it's just a good way to gain traction to have your stuff available on Google or whatever.
Okay, so 2 p.m. That's not going to happen today.
No. But the reason,
for future reference.
So there are reasons. Yeah, there are reasons to replace tanks. Like if your tank is rusted or kind of sketchy, replacing is not a bad idea. But
how much does an actual?
Let me try to see if I can find their prices.
Yeah, because I think it's about 30 for an exchange at your average home improvement store. If I can get a comparable rate for filling the fucker up all the way, I'll obviously spring for that.
Did we just kill Crusadermon?
Yep.
I actually feel a little guilty about that.
She went out like Marluxia.
では諸君、ひとまず事務所に戻るとしよう。君たちも私に聞きたいことがあるだろうし、今後の作戦行動についても話し合う必要がある。
てか、あなたは本当に京子さん？
私の入れたコーヒーをご賞味いただければ納得してもらえると思うが。
え？
八丁味噌クリームチーズわさび。
God, no!
未発表の新作だが、なかなかの自信作だ。君に味見をしてもらおう。
So now that makes a lot more sense now, right?
See, that I felt like had to be like an extra quirk to being a Digimon.
Yeah, it's the fact that Digimon as a species have an indiscriminate sense of taste.
Looks like it's about $2.87 a gallon for propane.
I thought you were talking. So you said $2.87. I thought you were talking like 100. I realized you were talking about $2.
Yeah, I kind of had a fuck no moment too, and then he said $2.87 per gallon. I'm like, okay, that's more manageable, I think.
Yeah, that's an estimate I'm finding from U.S. Energy information stuff.
I can always go because Killian's at his grandma's tomorrow, and I have really nothing to do until I go into work in the afternoon, so I can swing over there and ask them what their rates look like.
それにしても、京子さんがデジモンだったなんて、いつ
いい機会だ。いきさつを説明しておこう。共有している呉見京子の記憶も交えて。8年前、エデンのベータテスト以降、デジタルワールドは
Yeah, but like places like Blue Rhino or they only filled 15 labels or 15 pounds of gas. So it might cost a little bit more when you go to fill it, but it'll last more you're getting.
Yeah.
彼女は会社内部の不正を調査告発するために動いていた上白悟に雇われていた。
父が京子さんを雇っていた？
そうだ。そしてその折内部告発
者が
密会したいとの申し出があった。彼女は応じ指定された電脳空間内のエリアに単身。
Damn it! How could Boeing do this?
I was gonna try to make a joke. I just didn't know how to get there. Except that this time the Boeing employee. I say this time the Boeing employee murdered the CEO.
しかし、それは岸辺理恵があつらえた罠だったのだ。上白の実権を握るという野心に燃えていた彼女は、呉見京子に上白悟こそが不正の張本人であると訴え、その証拠までも巧妙に捏造していた。政治家への献金、ユーザー個人情報の売買。果ては自分との不倫などというマスコミが飛びつきそうなネタも盛り込みつつね。
Being an actual, I gotta wonder how much detective work is done in the modern day. I feel like there's a lot, but I feel like it never quite.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
There is.
I feel like
there is.
I mean, as far as I know, I feel like we'd never really crack open a big case like this. But for most of them, probably either don't get there or end up dead.
Now, are you talking actual police detectives or private investigators?
Both. I'm fine with either.
Because police detectives, I can personally tell you, are very busy almost all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine with how many cases they probably have to handle. They have to handle plus cold cases.
Yeah, because if something is, because patrol officers don't like there is a routine level of basic investigation that is done to get the information, like all the facts of a case, and then it's routed up to the department's detectives who pursue the more in-depth side of the investigation, and if it actually leads to anything, make the arrests if a crime is found to have occurred. So, like, roughly 70% of reports that officers take get routed up to detectives.
Yeah. On top of that, like, there's been some pretty big cases that have gotten done. Like, in 2020, there was a CEO who got his head sawn off in his $2 million luxury condo in Manhattan's Lower East Side.
I do remember hearing about that. I mean, usually, yes, that's kind of how cases like that go. They are pretty brutal.
Yeah. Killer tased him and then cut his head off.
So classy.
Like I said, brutal but effective, I guess.
I mean, it'll certainly do the job, if not draw a shit ton of attention.
Well, I mean, it certainly did the job because he succeeded in that.
Yeah, and then private investigators are always in demand because you can hire them for pretty much any kind of investigative work that doesn't involve an actual police department.
Now, the killer might have had a better chance of getting away with it if he hadn't bought an electric saw the morning after the morning of the murder.
It's always like, really, you kind of screw yourself when you do something that overkill anyway, because like, cutting somebody's head off, that's anger. That's a crime of passion.
It's premeditative.
Oh yeah, of course it's premeditated, but that shows actual malice. Like, if I cut somebody's head off, safe to assume I have a history with that person, and not a good one.
Yeah,
ironically, this is just a person being really greedy, it looks like. So it turns out the person was an assistant to the, CEO, and had embezzled about $90,000 from him. And the CEO is like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to report this, just pay it back when you can. And then, so instead of paying the money back, he
did a murder.
Which is like, man, if your boss is being that chill, why?
Yeah, like, that's hardly a reason to give somebody a Viking fruit cut with a saw.
I say, in a world of bad bosses, that was a mistake.
Yeah, get rid of like one of the few genuinely good ones who was willing to actually just like give you some slack on it.
For those of you that have worked under somebody, what is your percent rate to good to bad bosses? Like the higher the percent, the more good bosses you've had on average. Because I'd say about probably about 40% I've had are good bosses. I'm considering managers and higher ups, depending on whoever you interacted with.
I'd say about. I'm the same.
Like 40%.
I think I'm a little lower than you. I think I'm sitting around 35. Most of my bosses have been horrible.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Maybe I'm thinking about it because I didn't consider everything I did. I probably would round it down a little bit more, actually. Maybe like 30, 35 too.
Well, luckily I can say I've had 100% good bosses.
You work for your parents, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so
legally I have to say that, or else they'll both beat the crap out of me probably.
Does that make them good though?
I mean, they feed me, they let me live in the house rent-free, they don't...
I was gonna say, all things considered, he's got a pretty damn good setup.
No.
Yeah, and I believe I've already mentioned on this channel the horror stories of when I worked offshore. Like, that job set the bar so low, it was a tripping hazard in hell.
We got those stories in real time back when we were doing the early Pokemon videos.
Yep. So if you, the listener, want to hear about my woes about, like, arguably the worst job I've ever held, go and watch the Pixel Doctors Pokemon series.
Yeah, or just watch any series of ours, because honestly, it's probably come up randomly here and there too.
For real, just support this man in general.
Don't forget, after we finish Cyber Sleuth here, we are going to do our Emerald Nuzlocke.
I am ready.
I gotta finish a few little things I want to do now that I know some tricks for editing. So I gotta finish a few little things for the template.
I have prepared myself as best I can for a Nuzlocke.
You really can only prepare yourself mentally and emotionally, since we're trying to stay blind to the initial... we're trying not to go in with too much information, basically. Not like we haven't played these games before, but still. It's more fun if we remember less.
Well, there are a few things that are just going to be unavoidable to remember.
I still have the levels written down for each gym. Let me double check. I still have that note. Yep, I still do. It's at the bottom of my notes page. Which, I mean, honestly, for the most part, it's a variable of 5 between each, like a 5-level difference between each gym leader.
Which makes sense, because they're relatively close together.
There's a few outlanders, like, I think this is the 5th gym. When you go from the 5th to 6th, it goes from 33 to 42. There's a big gap there.
Guys, I have done a type of preparation that I feel you are both overlooking.
Did you do your Nuzlocke on your own time?
No. I have watched The Seventh Seal, all 5 Final Destinations, and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I am ready to accept that.
Puss in Boots one was the newest one that they did, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Good movie. I like that movie.
One of the best incarnations of death, also.
It was so much better than a sequel to a spin-off had any business being.
True, and honestly, Jack Horner is surprisingly one of the better villains to be noted of recent years.
Unapologetically bad.
Like, they did the writing for him so well.
Yeah, Jack Horner is... Well, I think we mentioned like 1 or 2 episodes ago. He's a puppy-kicking villain. Like, he has no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
He likes eating puppies, living puppies, just to make that clear. If anyone gets that reference, good for you. So,
What took you so long, idiot?
honestly, he is unapologetically an asshole and just black-hearted. Like, that dude is void black. Like, there is no light it now.
Yeah, not for him. Like, everybody else in that movie, I'll be willing to give them their flowers for some kind of redeeming thing they did throughout the story. Jack Horner, just an asshole from start to finish.
That was a fun movie. Like, I mean, there's been a couple movies recently. I would say the Mario movie was also a fun movie. I mean, the D&D movie was way fun if you know D&D.
Oh, yeah.
But in recent years, I feel like there hasn't been too many movies that are just fun, and that was one of those movies that is just fun.
Cool thing about the D&D movie, I didn't realize the first time I watched it, like AJ and I looked it up afterwards, and then we watched it again and confirmed. Every action that the main cast takes in combat takes exactly 6 seconds.
Which is good detail.
I say, we gotta wonder if that's coincidence or intentional. I would imagine it's intentional.
It sounds like that has to be intentional.
I have to believe that one's intentional.
Yeah, still though, it really depends on who the director. I think whoever directed that movie, they did really good directing it. The actors, I think, all did really well too.
Whoever directed that movie has at least given the Dungeon Master's Guide a 1-star.
Probably a couple times over, because everything was done very well, and good on the writers too. I don't think, and we talked about it when the movie came out, or a little bit after. But the fact that it is written like a D&D session. It has a mix of seriousness and jokes, and clearly the DM being snarky when they're talking to the dead dude with the speak with dead spell.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was definitely a moment of the DM sassing back to the players.
Yeah. Wait, does that count as a question?
Yeah. Yes. I was gonna say, Dylan, did you see that movie?
Great.
Oh, okay, so you did see the movie.
No, I haven't seen it, but I have seen the scene floating around, and it's like, oh
you would probably like it. I would say anyone that's played D&D would probably enjoy the movie.
Yeah. And there are a couple of things that like diehard rules lawyers like to bitch about, like the druid being able to wild shape into an owlbear, for instance.
I mean, it's not like I think Baldur's Gate didn't mess with those either. Like,
yeah, I was
for everyone in general, like, go with it.
I will never play the rules lord again. If you join my session and you become a rules lord, I'm kicking you out immediately. I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah, my thing is, like,
you forgot this rule.
Get out.
Yeah, my whole thing, like, just have fun. Like, it's what a game exists to bring you. Just, especially if you're not the dungeon master, just take a kick back, just enjoy the narrative.
I've mentioned it before, but I honestly find it more fun to be the dungeon master.
I have an appreciation for both. Like, I used to get a little annoyed that I was always typecast as the DM, but I've since enjoyed it. But on the flip side of that, I also like it when I get to just throw my hands up and let somebody else drive the story for a change.
So I'm making an interesting player character and like keeping them interesting. Although my lizard Octot has been doing pretty good with keeping it interesting. We've got workers right. We've got the workers right lizard. But, I don't know, on average, I find it hard to make an interesting character just off, like, the base idea.
Wait, what the fuck?
That being said, I still want 6th edition to come out soon, so that way we get some more interesting stuff.
Well, we're not getting more interesting stuff from 6th edition D&D. Sorry.
I'm ignoring MJ.
No, we already have the new part of the new stuff. They've cut back on a lot of features.
Until it's out.
Yeah,
until it's out, I will not. Until it's out, I will not hear any word here or there about it.
I was gonna say that.
It is out. We can look at it right now.
Is it called 6th edition?
No, they're getting rid of it. It's not called 6th edition. It's called D&D 1 or D&D Next or something like that.
Yeah,
they're basically
they're not going to 6th edition, but it's basically 6th edition.
Yeah, they're kind of taking they're taking the Xbox approach to their nomenclature.
Let's not get me started on that. We all know that'll make me eat it in itself. One of the worst naming conventions. You're almost as bad as the Wii U.
Yeah, they released their stuff
Wii U's
about
better.
Like, I think the first
Honestly,
stuff
no,
came out like a year
they're
ago.
on the same level, Deadlock. They're on the same level because it's basically the same idea.
My point is, I've enjoyed 5e enough to where I'm willing to give this new one at least a fighting chance, and if I don't like it, I've still got all of my 5e stuff.
Why not a fighter chance?
No, Doc, I'm just gonna say it. No, Xbox has it worse.
No, they're pretty because I mean they only did it with the Wii. They kind of did it with the DS.
Yes, but the Wii U kind of makes sense when you think about what they're trying to go with it.
Not really, because you go Wii U. You think it's just an extension of the Wii. That's not a whole nother console.
Unfortunately, one of the greatest games on the fucking Nintendo's console library is stuck on it.
Which one?
Xenoblade.
Let's talk about Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I remember that one being
I was gonna say, I've got the re-release on Switch to prove you wrong. But...
No, yeah, he's talking about X, which I think you can also get on 3DS if I recall, but if I believe it's the inferior version.
Yes, it's no longer there anymore.
Yeah. Don't be a jackass. You can still get it.
No, Xenoblade Chronicles X is only on Wii U.
What is the one on 3DS that I'm thinking of? I know
might be just the one that's from Wii.
You're thinking of Xenoblade Chronicles, I thought.
No, I'm pretty sure there is a Xenoblade Chronicles X on. Hold on.
I'll double check this. Continue with the story.
Did they ever do a redo of Pokken Tournament? Or is that just? Because I know that was for the Wii U as well.
They did a DX version for Switch, yes. So it's okay. Same game, with all the DLC plus a little bit of extra content.
Okay, so kind of like what they did with Hyrule Warriors.
All right.
Gillian.
Both you were talking at once. Both of you were talking at once. I don't know who was saying what. I know Chris.
I'm trying to.
Doc, it was just the original Xenoblades.
All right. Well, I could have sworn X is also on it, but I guess I'm wrong.
No.
All right, but Chris said something about Hyrule Warriors. What were you saying?
Oh, I said basically similar to what they did with Hyrule Warriors. They put out what's called, I think it's the Definitive Edition for the Switch, and it's all the DLC and bonus characters and all that other fun shit.
Yes,
yeah, they did that with Mario Kart also.
Yes, and MJ, what did you say?
I think I was just saying, yeah, Zach, it's just Xenoblade Chronicles.
All right, well,
3DS.
I was wrong. That being said, we'll end on the incorrect note and see you guys later.
Bye.
Later.
Later.